What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming by today. Now, on this video, we're going to be reviewing one of my favorite bows in my collection. Now, I just got this for Christmas, but I have been shooting it non-stop since I got it. It is the Southwest Archery Ghost Takedown Longbow. So stick around. We're going to dive into that right after this. Welcome everybody. Today we are talking the Southwest Archery Ghost Takedown Longbow. Now this bow, since I got it for Christmas, has been my daily shooter. I think I've cycled about 250 to 300 shots through this bow so far. I love shooting this bow. Even more so than my Samick Sage, which I've had for a couple of years and have shot really exclusively as far as recurves go. Now the difference with this, it is a longbow configuration, which took me a little bit of getting used to. It's a 64-inch bow, but still, after I got used to it and the mechanics of it, it really became very comfortable to shoot. The riser itself is a 19-inch riser. This is a hard maple laminate. Man, this thing is beautiful. I mean, it is, the form, fit, and finish on this are just outrageously good. The grip actually fits in the hand really nice, really comfortable. And the thing that I've noticed about this riser, and especially the grip area, is it is a lot more contoured and a lot thinner than my Samick Sage. Now, the Samick Sage bow is a great bow, and this one is built kind of along the same platform. Again, excluding the form, fit, and finish, and the real nice woodwork here, and the detail that was put into this riser. It is drilled and tapped, as you can see here, where you can attach a quiver. You can actually attach a elevated rest or a plunger button, whatever it is you want to use. It also is drilled and tapped on the front here, where you can add a stabilizer or a bow fishing reel. Again, the riser itself, very nice, very lightweight, balanced. This is a super smooth shooting bow. This bow shoots great. I can't stress enough how good this bow actually is. And what prompted my decision to buy this bow is I actually wanted a longbow configuration. And I looked at some of the prices, and I'll be honest with you, some of that stuff's just a little bit out of my reach. But this came in at a perfect price point of $169. And for what you pay for it, you get a lot of bow. The limbs themselves, as you can tell, a lot different than the recurve configuration. Of course, this is a longbow. The limbs themselves are maple and fiberglass laminate. Now, I did see a review or two on the limbs themselves, and someone said that they experienced some delamination. I don't remember where I saw that review, so I was a little bit, I don't want to say hesitant, but anytime I see a review like that, I always take into consideration with a grain of salt that it could just be a manufacturing flaw, it could be a one-off, it could be any of those things. But overwhelming reviews on this bow have been nothing but good. But even with that being said, as I've shot this bow and cycled through it, I stop every 10 to 20 shots and just check and double check. Now I'm not doing that as much anymore now that I'm comfortable with it and I know that it shoots well and I'm not having any issues with it. But still, it's always a good practice to check and see if you are having any issues. And the reason I say that is because I saw a review one time where someone says the limb started to delaminate and then it broke on me after I was shooting it. If you're having an issue with your bow, please stop shooting it immediately. Contact the manufacturer, see if there's some kind of warranty on that to get that fixed, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in an unsafe situation. That being said, Southwest Archery offers a 1-year warranty on their bows that they do put out. Also, on the limbs themselves, the limb pocket's very nice fit, very solid fit. The thumb screws that come with it, this is standard on most takedown bows. That's one thing that I would change about this bow if it were mine to send out to someone, is I would also include the standard limb bolts so you can put it in there with an Allen wrench. To me, that just adds to the overall aesthetics of the bow. And if you're like me, once you put the limbs on, I'm not going to take it apart unless I just absolutely have to, like if there's an issue with the limbs. So again, that would be a nice little addition for any takedown bow, not just from Southwest Archery. Again, that doesn't take away from the bow, the overall performance or how it shoots. It's just one of those little things that I would like to see included with a takedown bow. The limb tips, if you can see, let's hope I can get these in focus right there. The limb tips themselves are reinforced, so it will take a fast flight string. Now, I typically shoot Dacron strings, a B50, B55, which is what I have on here now, a B50. But I may try a fast flight at some point just to see if the performance is there or if it's any different than just shooting strictly a Dacron string. I love the way this bow shoots. It just performs phenomenally. It feels good in the hands. Smooth shooter, very little hand shock, but you're going to need to set this bow up when you get it. The recommended brace height for this is 8 to 8 3/4 inches on your brace height. So you'll have to set that up whenever you get it. But once you do that and once you add some string silencers, it actually smooths the bow out considerably and it shoots phenomenally. Now, what's included with the package when you pay the $169? You get the riser, you get the limbs, of course you get the limb bolts, couldn't attach it if you didn't. You get a standard string, which is an endless loop string. This is a 60-inch 14-strand string. Comes with your bow, which is good. I'm glad that bow manufacturers add those strings in there because it would be kind of like buying a car without the tires if they didn't. But you'll probably find that you'll want to save the string and put your own string on it. If you make strings or you buy certain strings, you'll probably want to make it your own by doing that first and foremost right out of the gate. You also get a stick-on arrow rest. I chose not to use it, like I just said. I wanted to go to a real traditional style of shooting, so I'm shooting straight off the shelf on this one. Now, that took me some time to get used to. Being an elevated rest or a drop-away rest on my compounds, that took me a long time to wrap my head around. And really, it shouldn't have. It's just I felt like there was some magic voodoo that you had to do to shoot off the shelf effectively. But it's really just getting your brace height right. 2, it's getting your knock point right, and then just taking some time to work on your form, your release, and make sure that everything is shooting the way that it should. That being said, let's take this down to my little archery range and let's shoot some arrows through it so you can hear how it sounds, see how it performs, and then I'll have my closing thoughts on this bow at the range down in the woods. All right, so now we're going to go down to my little shooting range and actually shoot the bow. This is down in the woods here where I'm building my permanent setup for my archery, and hopefully as the weeks and months progress I'll get this thing set up like I want to. But let's go shoot this bow and just take a few shots, see how it sounds, see how she performs. Sounds like we got some people in the neighborhood behind us playing basketball, which is cool. But where we'll be shooting from, there's no danger of anybody getting the potential of being in my arrow flight, which is good. You always want to be safe whenever you're shooting. You want to make sure that nobody's around, or at least that you've got some good open space behind your target, just in case. Well, okay. So now we're down here at my makeshift range for the moment till I get down here and actually, do some work. I've got some ideas for cutting some different shooting lanes and paths in here. There's plenty of space. The only negative to it is it's on a hill, but that's okay. I mean, I can still level out some spots where I'm going to be shooting from. But if you're in a hunting situation, you're not going to have optimal shooting conditions anyways. But there's plenty of space to do 10, 20, 30 yards, even further if I so desire. But I don't think I'm going to be going farther than 20 yards, 25, 30 yards rather, with my recurves or this longbow. So we're going to take a few shots with it. Then we're going to reposition the camera down there so you can see the arrows hitting the bag. And I will promise you this, I probably won't hit the bullseye once with this because I'm still getting used to shooting off the shelf in this different bow configuration. So with that being said, let me quit running my mouth and let me shoot this bow. The other thing too, with shooting this longbow, especially off the shelf like this, and I'm sure it's the same with a recurve, is having to cant the bow a little bit to keep the arrow from coming off the side. That's a little different, little weird. It's kind of foreign to me trying to shoot like that. But, you know, that being said, I am getting used to it and I'm getting better at it. And that affects my shots as well, or, you know, where I'm landing on the target. But again, it's all about consistency. It's about practice. It's about, you know, spending time with your archery equipment and getting better at it. So as you can hear, the bow's relatively quiet. The brace height is set at 8 3/4 with the string silencers. That really helps to quiet down the bow. I really enjoy shooting this bow. It's a smooth shooter, feels good in the hand. Hand shock is minimal. I don't want to shoot that. It will handle an aluminum arrow as well. I'm just shooting my carbons. My arrow that I'm shooting today are my gold tip hunters with a 50 grain insert and a 100-125 field tip up front. I find that gives me the best, this is a 500 spine, by the way. I feel that gives me a really good arrow flight. There's not a lot of, I bear shaft tuned them with that as well. So with that setup, these arrows shoot really well out of this bow. I say that, but it's the actual archer that's responsible for hitting the target, right? All right, so now let me reposition the camera, and then you guys can, you know, check it out as I shoot into the target down there. Well, not the best in the world, as you can tell. I mean, pretty good group right here, little flyers over here. Overall, the bow shoots good. A lot of this is just me and my form, and I'm more concentrated on my fingertips being cold than I am actually shooting the bow. So I'm gonna take a few more shots, see if I can't tighten this up a little bit and get rid of these flyers. Maybe if I think through my shots beforehand instead of just releasing the arrow, I think I'll have much better results. Much cleaner, much better. I'm happier with that. Had 2 flyers, but that's okay. It's just concentrating, slowing down, and not just trying to cycle through the shots real quick is what helped. But that is the Southwest Archery Ghost Takedown Longbow review. Great shooting bow, you can't go wrong. $169 price point. I think it would serve anybody well to pick this bow up, especially if you're looking at getting into a longbow for adding to your collection of bows. But again, I hope you've enjoyed this brief review and this shooting out here on this cold January day. So leave some comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. I'd love to hear what you think about the bow. Probably not so much about the shooting. That's you can comment on that as well. Anyways, but thank you for coming by. And if you like the content that you do see here, please consider subscribing to my channel, because we're going to continue to post archery related videos, you know, whether it's bows or archery equipment, quivers, arrows, you name it, we're going to be talking about it here on this channel. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and give me that thumbs up. But I do thank you for coming by. I hope you have a great day, a better day tomorrow, and a wonderful week ahead of you. And until next time.